Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Today's expression, or actual character, 和. This in general just means crop. And given the Chinese geographical feature, the crops over there mostly are grain crops, either it's rice or wheat, and that's the main food. Chinese as a culture is a high carb consumer. Okay, so this 和 is made of similar symbol that looks like a wood or tree symbol, which is made of this upward turning curve, downward turning curve connected by a vertical line. And this upward turning symbolize the blades or branch or leaves facing upward, sun facing, because they're doing photosynthesis. And then we have downward facing curves that shows the root of the tree, and they are connected by the trunk. So that's the basic structure. And just a few episodes ago, we talked about how wood or tree icon was made, and then double it, triple it. So Chinese have a whole thing about this numerical game to express different set of meaning. So here is addition based on this base icon, that's wood or tree. There's one extra stroke, and because the Chinese have to be standardized somehow, right? So it's always the stroke tilted toward the left. I've never seen one that's going to the opposite way. Maybe somebody will create that, and that may have some special meaning to it, but direction matters. Okay, so tilted leftward means the top of the crop is ripening, and the grains in their what do you call it? In their tipping points are draping because they're fuller and they're ready to be harvested. And so you would visually see such crops sun facing, originally standing up tall straight, but when they're full of grains or seeds, it's heavier and then start to drape. So just one simple stroke differentiated from a regular plant or tree. It made it into our food source. Because Chinese is an agrarian society, so this character eventually made into a whole other food-related icons or characters. So here, 和, I want to share with you the most famous elementary students Chinese poetry curriculum. Definitely everyone has to learn that from day one. And I'm not sure if this is part of even like propaganda, not exactly propaganda, but it's culturally generations of students were raised on this poem, and that creates in their formative years, right, in first or second year of their Chinese elementary school, and then everybody learned this because it's easy, it rhymes, and it's not like long, difficult Chinese poems, but this one comes easy, and that's why through thousands of years, like people just pass it down, and then the students would, grow up and see food in this light. So it's like an early framing of our relationship to food or the production of food. So here is go. 锄禾日当午. So when you are working on getting rid of the weed, when you're weeding your crop, so it's a crop care. 日当午, when the sun is right in the middle. 汗滴禾下土. The farmers who are doing that hard labor, their sweats would drip down onto the soil right under the crop. 谁知盘中餐? Who would know? The food on your plate. Okay, 盘中餐, 粒粒皆辛苦. Every single grain. So 粒粒 is grain. So every single of them 接辛苦 came from hard labor. So that scenery, that imagery of this sweat covered, dripping, hardworking farmer, manual work produce. So that almost like the sweat grains, the shape of the sweat and the grains kind of almost corresponding, right? Almost like the hard work from the farmers drained, almost like nourished the plant in a way, because it's the sweat get into the soil, get absorbed into the plant. So we have that, heavy human labor imagery, and the poem at the end, the moral of the story, after creating the imagery, is how to think about your relationship with food, because you know where it came from, and you need to finish every single grain. So as a Chinese, I noticed that in America, people don't really value food as much. So when they eat according to their sense of fullness. But when Chinese eat, at least that's the way I raised, I eat every single grain, because every single grain came from the sweat drops, this hard work. So this is the imagery created young early on, and you really would appreciate food a lot more and tend not to waste any of them. So there you go. That's cool. Thank you for your time. See you another day.